Blake Snell thing with the Giants. I just wanted to address this real quick because I do know that this thought is out there, and we've had a YouTube viewer all day whose name, and I don't even know if he's still on the chat, but his little name there is Giants for Life. So something tells me that this person roots for the San Francisco Giants, which is great because so do I. And at a certain point earlier in the show, he said a Snell deal would have to make sense. And then he went through some of the particulars. And my immediate response was, no, it doesn't. This is one thing that at a certain point has started to frustrate me about Farhan Zaidi's San Francisco Giants. If the current Giants ownership were your parents, you would never go on vacation. Ever. It's never the right financial thing to do. It never makes sense. It's never analytically a positive for your family. Unless, of course, you believe in the emotional side of life, which the Giants for the last 4 years have not. They don't even think it exists. They're like, get excited. Austin Slater's pinch hitting. I mean, you have to sometimes splurge. You got to grab everybody and be like, we're going to Disneyland. But, Dad, it's so expensive. Bleep it. Who cares? Let's go have an experience together. The beauty of where we think the Blake Snell negotiations currently stand, and granted we don't know, but based on all the reports, the beauty of these is that there is next to no risk. If it blows up in your face and his arm falls off, I mean, maybe he opts in for his age 32 season. Who cares? You got $100 million coming off the books next year. Live a little. The fact that this guy is potentially in front of you and you don't have to do the 6 or 7 year thing or sign him till his 41st birthday, if you can get him without having to do that, I'm sorry, I don't see the risk. I see you being a real playoff contender if you sign him, and if it doesn't go well, then this isn't going to last that long, and you'll be okay. Because even if he opts into some $35 million contract the following year, well, A, you've got Blake Snell at age 32. That's not too bad. But secondly, yeah, that would probably be the end of the deal.
Right.
And you have $100 million coming off the books. So this feels now like it's relatively risk-free. It also feels to me like Snell wants to be on the Giants. The word is it's essentially been, for a while now, down to the Yankees and the Giants. Yankees have an offer on the table. Their luxury tax situation's way worse. And if he had this burning desire to be a Yankee, I think he would be. But Blake's a West Coast guy, knows the division real well. The rumors have been out there for a while. I think he's on the table for the Giants if they just do it. And like a 2 or 3 year deal with opt-outs is not that risky.
Right.
So, like, come on.
Do it.
And if they're waiting because they need to clear some money in the name of J.D. Davis and Joey Barton, whatever, okay, fine. I don't need an announcement. But please tell me that behind closed doors, you've already told Scott, this is a done deal. We just got to, right? We got to move got to make some space for him to move in.
Hopefully.
Right? I don't know, man. That's how I feel about that one right now.
Well, if it isn't Snell and you think it's not Montgomery, because Montgomery, by all sensibilities, wants to play on the East Coast. So if it's not one of those two, then what? Then you got to go out and try to trade for somebody, because you can't break camp with this collection of arms and tell your fan base, hey, look at our rotation. We're ready to go and track down the Dodgers, because the only way you can beat the Dodgers and the Padres and even Arizona, who's a good team, is to outpitch them and out-defend them.
Yeah, they're very good, but they're not insurmountable. I don't know exactly. The Padres pitching staff, I don't really know exactly what that's going to be this year. The Diamondbacks are a good young team that caught lightning in a bottle at the end of the year, therefore feel maybe better than they actually are. They made the playoffs and got hot.
Right.
Much more so than, wow, how are you going to beat them? You can beat them. They're good. They've got a lot of speed, all of that. They're good. So are the Padres, so are the Dodgers, and I think the Giants are in that range too, especially if they get another starter. So our friend Giants for Life hits us back and says, oh, so you agree the deal has to make sense. You're basically saying he's going to get a deal that makes sense, so we agree. Here's what I'm saying. I'm basing that on where the Scott Boras 4 are. Like, you're not, like, those deals don't even exist anymore. So, in other words, if the Giants are still waiting now, my perception could be wrong, but my perception is, what if Blake wants $40 million and the Giants are like, we're going to sit here and wait until he takes 35 because luxury tax, and that at $5 million might actually mean 10. And what I'm saying is, grab your kids and go to Disneyland. Just do it.
We never did.
You never went anywhere?
One vacation as a family.
Where'd you go?
Tahoe. I was I think I was 2. Oh. Shout out Dwayne and Sue.
You didn't even remember it then.
No, they had 4 kids. They had 3 kids.
It is expensive.
Well, they had...
It's very expensive.
Mike was 16 months old when Doug was born, and Doug and Gail were born the same year. So Mike, Doug, and Gail, my 3 siblings, are 27 months apart, which is almost impossible when you do the math. 3 kids in 27 months, and then little Danny the Mistake came about 4 years later. Some families call it a blessing. My family called it a mistake.
Okay, that's on the back of the jersey, the mistake.
Or just,
on Players Weekend, that's what he was wearing?
Or Le Mistake, when I would wear like a Montreal jersey, when I would go Canada, or a French national jersey. Oh, so my parents didn't take that vacation. So when I hear you lay it out like that, take that vacation. Take the kids to Disneyland.
Build some memories around here, man.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
The other idea is just close your mouth and deal with Tristan Beck and Keaton Wynn and be happy you got food on the table. Exactly.
You shut up. You be glad that we got a Solaire, you jerk.
Totally.
You eat it.
Here's an idea.
Yeah.
You shut up and appreciate the Matt Chapman that I worked so hard to give you.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Yeah, I get that. Listen, not everybody can do it. Not everybody can do it. Like, the kids have asked me for a while now, like, how come everywhere we go is driving? Well, when you get to a certain age, I'm going to explain this to you, right? No matter how many people are in the car, the gas costs the same. But if we all get on the plane, somehow it multiplies.
Right.
So, like, we didn't I finally took them to, as you know, I finally took them to Mexico last year. You want to know one of the reasons? This is no joke. I'll share this. One of the reasons, and there were many, one of the reasons I was finally able to take them to Mexico last year, do you remember the year before on Christmas Day, the whole harrowing, and does everybody around America remember the Southwest Airlines thing?
Yes.
Over the holidays with all of their whole system went haywire and every flight got totally messed up and everyone was stranded everywhere. We spent a good, solid chunk of our Christmas at the Oakland airport. All the way to get to close to 9 o'clock when we were finally told, turn around and go home. Christy comes and gets us. We go to sleep for like 5 hours and get up and drive to Orange County. Okay? What do you think Southwest Airlines did over the next 6 months?
They sent out a lot of apology payments.
I don't know. I've never seen so many vouchers in my life. They're sending me, here's 50,000 points. And oh, by the way, tomorrow, we're going to send you 50,000 more. It was major flight bag alert, and by the time I got to the following summer, I'm like, let's go to Mexico.
Yeah.
Because I finally can. You got
the points, you got the vouchers.
Rock and roll.
I will say this about that airline. They have done right by me many times.
Oh, my gosh.
Many times.
Well, and
in those situations, it's been like an email, and they go, you know what? Bazing. Take care of you.
Buddy, I had them. They reached out to me.
Pal,
the first
I get
time.
It. Yes.
Yeah. No, they sent all the later emails, but you remember, I took the video.
Yeah.
This is where I didn't.
You flexed on them.
Well, it wasn't.
It was a flex.
It wasn't on purpose. I wasn't like, watch what I'm going to do. But I put a video on social media. It might have gotten a bajillion views or two. And poof, there comes a DM the next morning. You want $500 or you want $1,000, sir? I'm like, Let's do the bigger number.
Cash me out one time.
Yeah.
Flex on a poor airline. Mom and pop
This little
operation.
phone video.
Totally.
Exactly. Mom and
Fighting to make ends meet. Probably costing people their jobs with that video of yours.
Well, my man, we went through hell that day.
Yeah, I remember.
And I'm not playing the violin for us, but boy.
You and thousands of other people.
Right, but
It was like a computer thing, right?
Right, and it wasn't the poor people who are working at the airport. I felt terrible for them. But what my only thing that I came out of that upset with, and this is a great lesson for anything in life. It's just kind of like the old story about boy who cries wolf. Like you keep lying and you keep lying and keep lying, and then it blows up in your face, and it's like nuclear. And if you had just admitted it at the beginning, it'd have been much smaller. If Southwest had just looked at me at 2 p.m. and went,
Not happening.
then we could, great. I'll be in the car. We'll be there by 9:00. We're fine here. But no, it was, you should go rent a
Gate
car.
22.
You should go, tell you what, we should fly to Ontario. I tell you what, you should hop on one leg for an hour and a flight will appear. And we did this for 8 hours. Until it's 10 at night and you're looking at each other going, let's go home. And finally, I wish I knew her name, a Southwest employee look at me. And she just like, sir.
That's going to be a no from us, dog.
If you live somewhere in this area, I'd go home. I was like, we out. She's like, a lot of these people don't have a choice.
Right.
If you've got a choice, you should get up out of here. So we did. Anyway, I don't know what the hell that has to do with Blake Snell, but the Giants should sign him.
It has to
That's
do
what I
with you
think.
finally taking your family on a
That's right.
vacation.
That's right.
Because I never got to go on one.
And we built some damn memories, boy.
Turns out my parents, the late Sue and Dwayne, we were the Oakland A's. And I love you, Mom and Dad, and I know you tried your best. You tried harder than John Fisher
I was
does.
going to say, then you're not the Oakland
You know
A's.
what? We might have been
The Oakland A's did not try their best.
Who would we be? Not even, not the Brewers. Maybe the Twins. We were some mid-market team.
The Twins. So you're waiting there for other people's scraps, and when things went wrong, you're
Kinda.
like, yeah. Oh, brother,
Yeah.
there's a lot more of those families than the other ones.
Believe me.
But guess who the Giants are?
Well, they should be.
Not the A's.
Right.
They got all the dough in the world just sitting there. And you know what? They've spent it this offseason.
Second most spending in baseball.
At what I find to be an acceptable level. By the way, and I don't know if this updates right away because the season hasn't started, but remember last year we would do that whole the payroll rankings.
Right.
I know where the Giants rank in free agency, but what is their payroll right now, 2024? Where does it rank?
I don't think that you get those
You don't get it
metrics
yet?
not until you get that 25-man roster.
2024
I don't
MLB
think.
payrolls. Let's do this. We got MLB.
See if it's populated yet.
Spot Track MLB 2024 payroll tracker. There's no way this is updated.
Yeah, see.
Because
I
the
don't think
Giants
so.
are still ranked 11th, right behind the Cardinals at 160 million. That ain't true.
Well, and if you click on the link to the Giants roster, they probably don't even have the Chapman contract in there yet.
Let's see. Oh, no, they do. They do. Do you know who the highest paid Giant is this year?
By
Game Show
average
Music.
annual?
Game Show Music. Yeah. Like which Giant will make the most money just this year?
Yeah.
And who is it and how much?
Man, it's I don't think it's Logan Webb. Something tells me that his deal doesn't kick in till next year. His big money comes in down the line. Okay, Chapman. Not a lot of options, to be honest.
The highest base salary is the answer we are looking for.
Man.
And actually throw the signing bonus in too. It's the same answer either way.
Is it Lee?
Jung-Hoo Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a no from us, dog. He's not even in the top 5.
I thought he's making like 18, no?
Jung-Hoo Lee? No. Base salary
got 5 and 90?
$7 million with a signing bonus of $833,000 this year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Jung-Hoo Lee.
I thought his deal was like 9 figures.
It was, but it's for a bunch of years.
Gotcha.
And it's an escalation sensation.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's just this year. Just this year. I'll give you one more guess.
Jeez. I'll say Matt Chapman.
Number 2.
Oh, boy.
Number 2. You know who it is? It's Michael Conforto. That's an opt-in from him, dog. $18 million. That's the highest paid Giant this year. Thank you, Farhan. Yep. 2 of the top 4, though, were signed in the last 3 weeks. So the Giants are spending money, and I find that portion of it to be totally acceptable, and therefore a good offseason has been had for sure. But from a baseball side, I still feel like they need one more.
Right.
Doesn't have to be Blake Snell, but, kind of feels like it should be.
Yeah, and Jung-Hoo Lee's average I'm looking at is 18.8.
Correct.
So, not a terrible guess. I didn't realize it was so backloaded.
No, again, that's just...
Buzzer came pretty quick for a guy full of pizza.
Well, I mean...
I was looking at the list.
Yeah, he's looking at the list.
Thanks for the pizza.
You're
Dibs.
welcome.
Yeah.
Thank Mark.
I will tell you, your answer's correct if it was the adjusted luxury tax salary.
Okay, that's what I was
So for
thinking.
luxury tax purposes, Jung-Hoo Lee is number 1 at 18.8. But not in actuality, not the base salary, signing bonus, the adjusted salary, what have you.
And Robbie Ray's average is 23. I see, right? 5 and 115.
Well, but are the Mariners paying some of that though?
Probably.
I don't know how that's all working. Yeah, I don't know how that one's
The
working.
Mariners.
And they are on speed dial, brother. They are on speed dial.